to that point. He can be like an extremely dominant thing. And with the spark rates for vision, it really helps like if they do go for that split push. Not so much of like an illusion hero. I mean, the clone does, but that kind of acts as like pseudo illusions for scouting in a way, I guess you could say, with the spark rates.
I guess one thing is Terrorblade, like the other heroes they play, are either really good at absorbing the pressure that comes into their lane. Like Naga and Alchemist, you won't generally lose your tower. You can sort of spam illusion, spam acid spray, defend that. Or Terrorblade, you can like just push the enemy tower. Whereas Arc Warden, you know, if they come to your lane, you might have to leave it, and you don't have that ability to slow the enemy down or push their tower first. Maybe that's like the one weakness of it with OG.
Okay, draft is almost upon us. The most picked hero for OG at the Kiev Major. 3 ahead of any other hero that they've picked is Monkey King, Ben. They've had it 7 times in their lineup. Do you feel like that might be a contested hero between these two?
Not particularly. I think their win rate is not very good with it. They won 3 of the 7 games with it.
Yeah.
And Faceless aren't particularly good with the hero either.
But they are going to ban it.
Yeah, Faceless bans out the Monkey King.
Yep.
So that leaves OG, that's already going to leave multiple options for OG to go for it, because everybody else has been banning the Naga Terrorblade, and now like all of the heroes are out. All of the heroes are left in the open for OG, and they ban out the Timbersaw, which is in particular good versus those illusion heroes, the Nagas, the Terrorblades.
Yeah, as we said, the bans in this meta are usually...
OG's turn to ban. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Crystal Maiden.
OG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Alchemist.
OG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team pick.
Slog. Slog.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Slog.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. OG's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
General Shaman.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. OG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. Reserve time. Reserve time. 10 seconds remaining. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Prepare for battle.
In a cruel twist of fate, the only two Southeast Asian teams here at the Kiev Major were forced to face up against each other in the very first round. Now, Faceless represents the hopes and dreams of the Southeast Asian scene as they go toe-to-toe with the green giant that is OG. The pressure is sure to be mounting, Kevin. This is going to be a tough best of 3 for Faceless. Did they start this one off on the right foot? You said you liked the draft.
I do like the Morphling last pick. It makes their lanes a little bit iffy, but I do think that a Morphling can give you some good solutions against an Enigma. I think that's the big key hero that OG's been using a lot of their sets to dominate games, so you need something that will be semi-survivable. So I think there's definitely some tools that they have to maybe deal with this, but not 100% if they're gonna be able to match it. I think one other point of vulnerability for OG is that it looks like it's gonna be a jungling Enigma, and it's like S4 playing it, so that means
the support Batrider.
Support Batrider. So
JerAx has already picked up the boots first on this bat, so I'm not sure exactly what his plan is going to be. We've seen a number of support Batriders in the past. They've always been very disruptive presence, but can be a little hit or miss.
So I think the reason they're doing this is because historically S4 has a lot more experience playing Enigma, and a lot of times Enigma does start in the jungle anyways just because you get a really fast level 4 kind of a thing. And as a Batrider, he should be semi-comfortable in the offlane. The crucial move is do not get pounced. If you get pounced, you're caught pretty much. So can Ogre Magi set that up? Can Crystal Maiden set that up? That's what they got to worry about. And can Ogre actually be the roaming hero that Faceless needs? I was expecting, I mean, they didn't know the Enigma pick was coming. I think the Ogre was afterwards, but I'm sure they wish that was like a Ricky Maru, Bounty Hunter, something like that would be a lot more useful.
Boy, this is going to be something else. You can see the crowd hyped as always here at the Kiev Major. It's definitely been one of the better crowds that we've seen at Majors. We've said it plenty of times, right? The CIS scene needs to be able to have a Major, and they have certainly turned up at this tournament. It's been a pleasure to be able to see all the fans, especially the Russian casters are sitting next to us, and you could see the line. It just goes back and back and back in between series because they all want to be able to get a signature from Casper or Vlad.
Those casters don't even have to stand up when the line starts. I just look over, there's a line. It's the middle of the game. There's no casters there. There's still a line. I don't know what it's for, but those guys are waiting for something important.
I was talking to a guy. He spoke English really well, but he was. He's from the CIS region. He listens to a lot of the Russian casters. I asked him what the difference was between the casting scene. He said the Russians are a lot more personable and a lot more, they're funnier than us, basically, Kevin. So what I'm saying is,
get funny.
As my analyst and my color caster here, pull out some good jokes for us, all right? We got to win her over some of these Russian fans away from the Russian casters.
They also speak Russian, and we don't. Is that part important? I think it is.
I'm just saying for the dual language people.
Okay.
We got to win them over to the English-speaking side, right? All right, we're finally getting into this game. Game number 1 of Faceless versus OG. No more bullshitting from us. We're going to see already the push out from OG. They actually tried to get their Batrider in a good position with these boots and the smoke up. I'm wondering if he's going to do something that's typical for regular offlane Batriders where you sneak behind and you try and pull the creep wave, that first creep wave that comes in while the Enigma denies one of the Eidolons and then goes jungle with it, or if they're just going to try and straight up lane together. I have no idea what the plan is from OG, but I'm sure it's a good one.
You know, one thing that's actually scary about this dual offline with the bat is that if Ogre does roll in and try to zone that Enigma, if Batrider shows up, Ogre Magi dies. Because like sticky napalm in a very long chase is going to guarantee you a kill. So that's maybe the one thing that's pretty scary here for XY. He also didn't go boots first, with he went Orb of Venom instead. So that may make a big impact.
What about our mid matchup? We have a mid Jabz Morphling facing up against Anna's OD.
I think it's going to work well because I think that's where Ogre Magi is going based on his current positioning.
So he's going to be the disruptive force that kind of keeps the OD down in the beginning.
OG's got 4 armor, Ogre's got 8. How do you beat that?
I mean, every single offlaner knows, because most of the time it's safe lane Morphling. Morphling is notorious for just being able to control the lane really well, get all the last hits, and all the denies. So if you've got an Ogre up in this OD's face, he can't really get to the creep wave, then Jabz is going to be denying everything. He's going to... JerAx does seem to try and Ogre, and we're going to have a duo versus duo in the mid.
Okay, so OG is switching it up just a little bit based on where Faceless ends up. So they have no magic sticks here either, so these napalm stacks are just going to continue most likely. And it's going to make their turn rate awful in there. Movement speed weak and all that stuff. Another deny in the range creep as well.
There is a significant difference between OG and Faceless' lineup where we have IceIceIce, who has to match up against the Alchemist and the Shadow Shaman, so he's going up against a dual lane, a Shadow Shaman dual lane, which is also Meanwhile, we have on the bottom side, Black has a 1v1 against the Enigma. The reason is because Crystal Main is going to be doing that thing where she starts off jungle, gets her level 3 as soon as possible, and then she can start having an impact in the laning phase. But she really wants to be able to have that aura up because the heroes like the Slark, like the Abat, really take advantage of it.
Yeah, and it's not just that. If she did go to the lane, a lot of CMs have been spending more time trying to zone the offlaner. But you're not going to be able to do that against an Enigma who has Eidolons. CM at most would be able to frostbite one of them, but be taking a lot of right clicks in the meantime. So just the move to go for on Nutz. And as he goes to the safe lane, we'll see if he notices his camps blocked, because that was one of the nice things that JerAx did right at the start of the game. Smoked to the off lane, didn't get broken by Black, and he blocked both camps, which means that CM is basically forced to spend time far away, which means reacting to ganks or trying to help get Enigma kills will take a lot more dedication.
Nutz does come in and is going to be able to take away the sentry blocking out the hard camp. That's the one he really needs to release, but it's still going to be a wait until the 3-minute mark.
Oh, haste rune on Batrider. This is really bad for CM.
God.
Almost for sure. Oh, he's actually short on mana. If he had 10 more mana.
Nutz, pretty sure you're going to be dying here. Maybe pick up the bounty rune. He's trying to kind of like juke it out and keep ahead of JerAx just because he's not sticky napalmed up. Here comes another sticky napalm though, and JerAx will claim the first blood as well as that bounty rune. So a very fortuitous rune pickup for JerAx. Guess he is replacing a little bit of S4's rune luck.
That's the reason that you check for those runes, just to see if they're there, because sometimes you get a little bit lucky and it completely changes a pro game like this.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, right, it's basically a 50% chance to be able to get some sort of ganking rune, right? You know, get a haste, get an invis, both of them will offer you same kind of opportunity to gank one of those side lanes.
Yeah, regen would be nice. You could use illusion to pull waves back, or maybe put more pressure when you do roam. It's definitely worth it to check. No Tail in the safe lane's got 11 last hits, so he's doing quite well. Not quite matching Slark, but considering the Abaddon's been pressuring a bit more, not too surprising.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that it's impressive that Black is able to stay ahead of the opposing carry, No Tail, even though he's having these guaranteed denies that's coming out from the Enigma. But that's probably IceIceIce's just disruptive influence in the lane, causing No Tail some issues, and taking a couple denies here and there. As you can see, he's 10 and 2.
So level 4 now, 4.5 actually for S4. The fast level 6 is certainly going to be an important thing this game. Oh, this is actually so abusive. I didn't even think about this. Batrider plus OD mid. He's got Essence Aura.
Oh, man.
20 mana chance basically to proc. How much mana pool is this refill? 10%?
Yeah.
He might be in trouble here, though. Frostbite's going to come.
He's going to be slowed down here, rooted up, and that'll be an easy kill for Jabz to be able to claim Anna with a slight rebuttal there. Throws out the Arcane Orb. That will be very efficient against the Morphling a little bit later on. Morphling is known to be very susceptible to any kind of mana burn.
Yeah, and not just that, he's got very low HP, maybe not very low, but moderately low HP and very high armor. Pure damage is the perfect solution to deal with a Morphling.
It really does seem like this OD pickup by OG may have just granted them a bit of drafting win, but we'll have to see how it plays out as JerAx is currently body blocking up XY. No Tail trailing along here, see if he can help out, but Ogre is so tanky. I'm not sure if they're actually going to be able to take him down. Let's see, they get the stun on to JerAx, gets a little bit more space. IceIceIce is coming over, he's going to be able to get the shield, takes off the Seeking Napalm. Now the turnaround is available, but they don't have the mana from the Ogre, so nothing is going to happen. 1-1 still at 4 minutes.
Bat was waiting just a little bit long for the Batrider Firefly there. That's the only reason they didn't get that kill, but really good attempt. The body blocking is fantastic. And Aukid's just going to spend some time in the jungle. That's what he's got to do now. He doesn't know that this camp is actually blocked, so he's wasting a little bit of time here. Unfortunate for him, but still going to be efficient. And in the meantime, Fly is going to hope to sap some experience. So I would say that Faces is off to a pretty good laning start. Their mid lane has gone fairly well. They got the Batrider kill. Black has been getting pretty much free farm, and even the Abaddon has felt like he has his own lane here.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that really sticks out to me is that the Abaddon is having a great laning phase, and I feel like it is one of those offlaners who can accomplish a lot in a very long, drawn-out game, and it's kind of looking like it's going to be something like that. Abaddon offlane can accomplish a lot more than many other sort of the normal initiating offlaners, you know.
How do you like this OD build here? I saw Miracle do something very similar in his last game, where he went 3-1-3. I just assumed it was because of the Ember Spirit, but looking like he's going a similar build this game. Is this the new meta now, all of a sudden for OD?
It's probably based on the matchup, right? And for Morphling, there's more value in being able to get the constant intelligence steal off of that Morphling. And as long as you have enough mana from the Essence Aura, and I guess he feels like 2 levels is just enough.
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
I don't know. Every single time I play OD and I max out the clock for me, so.
Blood's gonna go down, I think.
Yeah, he's being chased down. There's not much they can really do to this one. Blind tries to juke it out. IceIceIce is able to pick up that kill, has to give up his life for it. Kind of questionable whether or not that's fully worth it, simply because the Abaddon was a much higher level than that Shadow Shaman, a whole 2 levels above him. No-Tail is going to be the beneficiary of that trade-off.
Yeah, it looks like pretty close on gold. It actually wasn't bad. Very similar experience change, but the faster level 6 on No-Tail now is going to mean it's even harder for them to pressure that guy.
He is just about to pick up that level 6, but IceIce is here, and maybe they can actually kill him. Nope, the level 6 comes out. Maybe they can still burst him down. It's going to be close. Chemical Rage, slowly but surely healing him up. IceIceIce has another Phonic Shield. It's going to blow, but No-Tail was out of vision, so it doesn't actually hit him. He immediately removes the disable. They're going to turn on JerAx instead, claim that kill, and not much OG can really do to stop it. This is unfortunately the downside of having an Alchemist in the safe lane. He's simply just not a carry that can help you when the clash comes to the top lane.
That was the best time to be an Elk, though, in the sense that you just don't die. The clutch Helm of Iron Will there, giving him enough armor with his ultimate to actually stay alive. I really thought he was going to die. Without the Batrider body blocks, certainly was going to happen. But
yeah,
once again,
if he had actually stayed in vision, right, with the Phonic Shield, maybe that burst damage would have killed him.
Yeah, might have. But once again, Nutz makes a really good rotation. It's not the first time he's done this. Like I feel like he's been on almost all the kills, 2 out of the 3. But almost every time it was a Batrider pickup, they could pressure a bat in here, but not under the acid spray. So No-Tail just continues hitting creeps.
Got 10 magic stick charges on IceIceIce as well, and his ultimate is about to come off cooldown as well. So
Anna's actually doing super well mid though, 49 and 20 versus the Morphling's 27 and 4. I think it's just because Jabz doesn't want to have to deal with getting hit by the orb all the time. Because even one of the other times he was struggling, he had -6 intelligence. That's actually quite a bit of mana. It's like half the whole waveform.
Stun out on Black Malefice after the Dark Pact. It's going to cause a bit of damage. Black to be able to tank up, but hey, you're a Slark. All you have to do is disappear off the map for a little while, full regens. You can always put pressure on offlaners like that and not really be punished too heavily.
Same goes for S4 though. Oh, I'm having a tough time, hit up the jungle, and then I jungle just as fast as just about any other hero. He's going his standard Midas build. He did get Arcane Boots first, probably because he did spend a lot of time in lane. You can't really get away with it as well if you're in the lane. You just get that item.
XY and Nutz are going to be spotted out by JerAx's Batrider here. Looks like he wants to be able to run down Nutz. Now XY can turn around, throws out that stun. Nutz also throws out the slow in front of himself without having to turn around. That's kind of a cool play, but Nutz may still die here. The Phonic Shield is going to help him out. Now IceIceIce looks to be able to slow down Anna, but it's not quite enough. The rune is going to be enough to be able to finish off the Crystal Maiden, but now Anna is in way too deep, and Black's going to be able to clean up the kill. Nice play. Black having that TP rotation, ends up getting a core kill traded off for the support Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, definitely not worth it for Anna there. He got a little too overconfident. It seemed like the easiest kill ever. You know, Shrine wasn't up. The CM just needed one more hit, but then the shield came out, and he just really thought that he could get away with that. Maybe the ward making him a bit overconfident, noticing no heroes, but by coming from the left, IceIce just bought that extra time, and Anna fully committed.
And S4 immediately pushed out bottom lane, but the thing is, it's a Slark. It's a fast-moving hero, and they're still going to be able to catch S4 here. He does have a TP scroll, but he's just not going to be able to have the time to use it. Tries to use the Eidolons to finish off Nutz, but it's not going to happen. So, Faceless, really excellent movement around the map right now, really punishing OG, because they're kind of running more of a static laning phase, and it seems like the 2 supports of Faceless are taking advantage of this big time.
There's just a little bit of net worth going towards Faceless right now. Very good for them, considering they're up against an Alchemist. He's ready to go on his armlet. He just has to get to the side shop, so should be fairly survivable from here on out. Abaddon going for a pretty safe build as well. Looks like he's going to go for the fast lads. It's kind of cool to see
So he's going to cut you. Oh, the Aponic Shield. Nice try, Fly, but you're going to go down, my friend. 7-3. IceIceIce should be able to run away from this one. And bottom lane, they did make a movement there. Managed to pick up the Enigma, turn it
Dire's
into a
top
push
tower
towards
is
the
under
offlane.
attack.
Oh, he used Black Hole as well. That's so bad for OG. Usually that first one is really important to grab a kill, but he's been constantly trying to push out the offlane. But the issue is that Alchemist is very easy to pressure, actually. It's especially pre-armlet here. So almost all of the OG supports and heroes have been rotating constantly to the safe lane, which means that there hasn't been as much space for somebody to come to where Enigma is and guarantee a kill. But all it really would take is maybe 1 hero, 2 heroes, like a Shadow Shaman in the offlane, to guarantee some disable, to chain the Black Hole together, something like that. But they just haven't had the opportunity.
And it's actually going a Hanamitis as well. So if you look at Hanamitis on Enigma, OD, and you have an Alchemist on your team, like, you're banking pretty hard that you're not going to be run over by Faceless by 20-25 minutes.
Yeah, and they have some decent heroes for it. I mean, heroes like Morphling or Slark sometimes just need one major item to make good stuff happen. On Morphling, it could be the E-Blade. It could even like something like a Linken's can really pay off too. So they've definitely got to be careful. But with that said, I don't think they're the wrong heroes to buy Midas on. OD's definitely the scariest when he does have Midas picked up. He accelerates into this insane right-click kind of carry. Enigma gets away with it so well once he gets to like level 15. So if they can just stabilize their game for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, I do think that'll pay off in the end.
So that kind of leaves Faceless, like, their objective should be, you know, forcing fights and taking some of these towers, right? In the next, like, 5-10 minutes, we should see a lot of attempted fights from them. I'm kind of curious to see how well the Morphling really interacts, because Slark should be able to come online. He's a decent fighter, better at pickoffs than team fighting, but it's the Morphling who's kind of questionable to me and how effective he's going to be in these 15 to 20 minute skirmishes.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. I think he is buying a Dragonlance this game, so he's probably going to be the person expected to hit buildings. So maybe he'll go a little bit more defensive in items, less E-Blade focus. Yeah. Or maybe just fully right-click focus. It's a really good way to deal with the OD. It's a hero that kind of has to cast, or usually buys like utility-ish items, doesn't buy that much personal survivability, and oftentimes needs to get a BKB. So if you just do a lot of physical damage, OD's kind of covered with a lot of KB.
IceIceIce backs away from that mid tower, stops S4's push in the bottom lane. They got a lot of chip damage on that mid tower in the process to actually in deny range there by 1 point. So if OG want to be able to take that tower away
Radiant's
from Faceless,
middle tower
that
is
potential
under
bounty,
attack.
they could, but obviously they'd love to be able to keep that structure alive for the TP rotations.
Slark going to borrow a couple stats from the Alchemist. It's probably not a big deal. He doesn't have many anyways, right? But back in the jungle for him, I think he's probably really hoping to find like Enigma, Shadow Shaman, just an absolute gimme kill, but finds the tanky guy.
That is, like, OG have to play really defensive, right? Because if they do get a pickoff like that, one of those freebies for the Slark, they could very easily just 5-man into towers, and I don't think OG could possibly defend. Like, maybe they can defend in a 5 versus 5, but if they lose even, like, just the Shadow Shot, I think the chances are very slim they could afford to take that fight.
And the other problem with OG here is that it's a support Batrider. He's not really close to his Blink Dagger. He does put a sentry and he spots out Black, but Black's going to know this range creep aggro storm. Kind of perfect timing for him to get some vision just to see if the detection's there.
This really is classic OG. You know, they set up very defensively. They've got this greedy lineup. They say, you know, hey, come push into us. And then they set up this S4 into position to be able to punish the rotation. But I think Faces are pretty wizened up to it, right? Like, they're not 5-manning anywhere. IceIceIce is kind of poking at the mid lane. He just took that tower. They're not really fully committing to that top lane, especially whenever the Enigma's off map. I really like the way that Faces is playing this one. They're not stumbling into OG like plenty of teams have made the mistake in the past.
Yeah. With that said, though, they could maybe take one of these fights, but the way that OG's playing is definitely extremely safe. Oh, they're going to find Ana. He's in a lot of trouble. He just used Banish too.
Big kill from Black there.
Oh, man, that was actually very, very detrimental to him.
And this trade-off looks like they are going to be able to kill XY. He doesn't have any. Well, he does have 2 members coming up, so even if he dies here, maybe they can get some sort of turnaround. Last couple of shots there from the Eidolons, and JerAx will secure the kill. Unfortunately, our Morphling and Crystal Maiden were not in the neighborhood fast enough to get some sort of turnaround play.
The OD did not need to use Astral Imprisonment there. It was only level 1. Barely increased his farm speed, and it cost him the death there. It could have been an easy banish on Slark, walk away. Slark did an ulti, so maybe at least buys him 4 seconds, gets an ally there in time, but a very unfortunate death, and that's the kind of person that Slark wants to find right now. Before OD actually does grab a survivability item, he's extremely vulnerable.
Yeah, you could see he's going to be working towards the Hurricane Pike, both the defense of the Force Staff as well as a little bit of stats up.
Radiant's middle tower
Again,
is under
Faceless
attack.
have managed to chip down another tower. Very, I would say, very safe way to be able to take these outer objectives the way they're doing it. Bit by bit, chipping them down, not really ever
Dire's
leaving
top
OG
tower
an
is under
opportunity for a
attack.
big initiation.
Enigma going for
Dire's
BKB immediately
structures
after the
are
Midas. This is
fortified.
pretty standard for what I've seen from S4 in the past.
Dire's top tower
Downsides is he
is
doesn't
under
have the best
attack.
setup in the world, so
Dire's top
he
tower
will be able to
is
guarantee a
falling.
black hole, though. There's not a lot of interruptions coming out of Faceless, so he'll be set for most of the game with that. And with the BKB rush, he'll have trouble initiating, but he does opt for the talent tree with the movement speed, which is one good way to do it. Give you a slightly better chance of finding the right black hole. Fly's going to go for a setup here in the mid lane, or just a little pressure. Fly's into a lot of trouble, gets body blocked.
Nutz is actually going to be able to come in and help XY finish it off.
He's doing such a good job getting there at the right time.
Yeah, he really is. Like, again, the support rotations throughout the first 15 minutes of this game have been very much on point. Jabz forced to use his waveform. Both the cores of OG showing themselves in the bottom lane. JerAx is dealing with IceIceIce right now, but will manage to make the TP out. As a result, because of that kind of spread that we were talking about earlier, you can see the three cores of Faceless all sitting at a very comfortable net worth. Oh, Black, did he just find a S4? There is the black hole here. So S4 is actually just going to TP out. Is he going to make it? Oh,
my
Jesus!
God. That was so close. I swear the dagger was already inside S4. It was very knife's edge there. Magic resistance perk definitely would have kept him alive, so ugh.
Sliver of HP, S4 sneaks himself away. But again, they're putting this pressure. OG are forcing, like, they're TPing back all the time, and these TPs have longer cooldowns than they used to. It means Faceless are in a better position to punish this. In fact, you can see JerAx right here. No TP for 30 seconds. Black is going to be able to pick up that one kill. Does get stunned up, but he pops the ultimate as the extra security to make sure he doesn't get caught in any sort of chain of
Oh, they want to go at No-Tail.
They are thinking about it. There is a shrine going to be there. They really want to fight this one out. No-Tail pops a shrine.
That's pretty early.
Faceless, I mean, I think they're just happy with the shrine being forced. They'll back away.
Oh, really nicely done with the Shadow Shaman, using Hex to instantly kill the replicate. That's actually going to be a huge advantage all game long. Dealing with the free Radiance against your enemy team, that's a lot harder to play the game.
Yeah, I think that's one of the fantastic
Radiant's
things, right, is that
bottom
as a
tower is
Morphling, you
under
don't
attack.
worry too much about your farm in the early game versus out, because you know you're going to get it eventually. But as you said, the Shadow Shaman will be able to slow it down a bit.
They've got really good ward vision from Faceless' side, too. This is exactly where they want to actually pressure, is in the Dire safe lane. Very likely place for Enigma to be, place for Alchemist to be. But with that said, the gold advantage is looking pretty good for Faceless, but it's not overpowering. And it's just going to get better for OG due to having Alchemist, Midas on their top 3 farmers. So I think they're getting some kills, they're getting some advantage, but I think they need to lay on the pressure even harder. Try to force a team fight that they win.
It's kind of conservative the way that Faceless are playing it right now, and they're slowly but surely making this bit of a chokehold on the map. But they got to pick up the pressure at some point, right? And we said, 20, 25 minutes, we thought we'd see Faceless getting pretty aggressive. I mean, that's still the timing window where those Midases really haven't paid for themselves.
Yep.
So,
except for on OD, the extra attack speed is really beneficial to the hero. Enigma, obviously, levels are fantastic, but the level 15 talent perk is where things really start going forward. And normally he hits this a lot earlier just because he does translate the black hole into some good team fighting and hero kills. But we just haven't seen that yet, and that's because OG's lineup is definitely passive. The thing that may start changing that, though, is Batrider getting Blink Daggers at 1,700 gold now. Getting pretty close. But the other issue is because they are playing this defensive lineup, they're hauling their side of the map. There's less space for Batrider to farm. They're not getting ganks off because they can't do it yet. I mean, you would love to do some smoke kills, but it's just so likely that they run into a Shadowblade Slark if they do look for those kinds of kills. Smoke breaks, and at that point, how do you initiate that guy from range? It would be so hard, unless you do, like, Astral into Black Hole or something to guarantee they doesn't get his spells off.
Black jumps himself away. Again, popping that ultimate is just the extra security. Faceless are really making sure they don't bleed away any kills to OG. And it does seem like that's the way that OG make these very greedy lineups work for them. Is they play pretty defensive, they play pretty split pushy, and then you push into them, they find a team fight or even just a couple of pickoffs. and all of a sudden that greedy lineup ends up working for them. So Faceless really making sure they don't give that one up. Nice kill on the Bat Rider up there at the top lane. XY actually canceled his TP. Anna, you just spot him.
Dire structures are fortified.
That was really close. I think the reason Black used his ultimate there was because Dark Pact was already popped, and I think he was very concerned about a potential
Dire's
blink on
bottom
JerAx.
tower
Like, you just have this feeling in the game, like, why would Out go for that stun there? If there's a blink and that stun hits me, even if it only stuns me for half a second, that could lead into a black hole combo. That gets me killed, that gives them the advantage and the levels that they need.
Jesus, all these TPs going around. Fly, they just laid down a ward there. Fly immediately counters it. Again, we are going to see Black push out, see if he can grab one of the squishy heroes of OG. At the same time, we haven't talked about this. IceIceIce is building into a Radiance.
Okay.
So he is looking to be that third core. He's going to be, you know, we'll see the Radiance Octarine, as that has a lot of value with some of his abilities on the Abaddon. But basically, we're saying Faceless aren't going to be too concerned about pushing this late game against OG.
I think it's all right to go for this build. Obviously, a lot of Abaddons lately have been going Midas pre-Radiance or Vlad's, but also some of the teams that have been doing really well previously, like Secret, for example, just straight defensive items. They're going to spot Black. This is the problem here. They run into this guy, Smoke's wasted, and it actually did hit all of them. No Blink Dagger, so they can't catch him. If they had a Blink, maybe they could go for a Black Hole, but even that would be kind of dangerous.
JerAx, if he's not careful, he's trying to lay down a little bit of fire before he backs up, but was a wrap around from Jabz and Black. Not quite fast enough to be able to catch him.
Black's coming back in, though. They've got the sentry. Oh, he goes to the right instead. Looking for JerAx.
Gets over the cliff.
50 gold away for the Bat Rider, and almost at level 10 as well.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, there's the beginning of the shotgun.
Yeah.
Quick elimination on Fly, and maybe with a pickoff like that, are Faceless going to try and do something with this, or are they going to continue to just try and control the map? It looks like that is exactly what they're going to do.
I think Faceless just doesn't want to take a 5v5. I think this game looks really obvious for them. They have amazing team fight heroes. If we take a big fight, there's a good chance that OG will do what they do with the Enigma, which is win games, just with team fight control. So what they do instead is continue pushing out the map. Part of the reason is getting Radiance to make that even easier. IceIceIce will just constantly sit top, and Slark will look around for kills and smoke breaks, which is going to be very effective against OG's lineup. And they're just occasionally going to get pickoffs with a hero like Morphling. Definitely one of the best things about him as a carry compared to other cores is that all you really need is a little bit of items and an E-Blade, and you can kill supports. Pretty straightforward. Most of them, at least. And so they basically have Slark that can get solo kills, they have Morphling, and they just have great skill pushers as well.
OG are going to be able to find IceIceIce here. He pops the ultimate, but he knows he's pretty dead. Nutz is coming into the neighborhood, but I don't think Nutz should be anywhere near this one. IceIceIce should be a goner, but maybe not. Jeez, so look at that. Alchemist is so low already. Nutz is almost able to finish him off. They are able to get it with the Aphotic Shield. The burn damage was actually enough to be able to bring the Alchemist incredibly low. IceIceIce thought that he was goner for sure, but OG just didn't bring enough heroes.
And the amount of damage they did, this is not
already
good.
Down. So, S4's going to go down. Black is in the back lines. He's going to be able to pick up an extra one, catches Fly. OD, Anna in the imprisonment. He's going to come right back up and go right back down again. 16-4. Faceless are taking this game one by an incredible storm.
That right-click physical damage that they're throwing out between Slark and Morphling is so hard for OG to stop there. But most of that fight did go bad because IceIceIce is just hard to kill. This Vlad's pickup, it's not a Midas, but who cares about levels and gold when you can just kill heroes and level up that way? Because he's accelerating big time, and he stayed alive. He healed back up to full due to Midnight Pulse and Firefly and a little bit of Radiance maybe. And that just made the fight so easy for Faces to clean up. And all of a sudden, the Rax is gone.
25 minutes in, with a Slark, a Morphling, and a Radiance Abaddon, Faceless have taken a laner Brax.
And you don't take that kind of fight and win that hard and not have your next item right on the precipice. I mean, Morphling's got 3K in the bank. He's about to pick up a BKB. That means OD doesn't do crap in team fights. That means Shadow Shaman does nothing. That means even if he gets Black Hold, as long as his BKB's up, he's actually not going to take much damage at all. OG is very reliant, actually, damage-wise, on their opponents not having BKBs. And because of the way Faces has played this game, they haven't let OG take a team fight. They haven't given them the gimme Black Holes. They're pretty commandingly ahead right now.
Now, I think there's really only way that OG stops
Radiant's
this.
bottom
Like, the
tower
endgame
is
scenario is
under
coming up
attack.
fast. Faceless with that BKB, with the Aegis, they're going to be able to take a second lane of Rax pretty soon. The only way they stop this is with the Black Hole. Yeah, right? They have to get like a super strong initiation that potentially catches heroes before their BKBs. As I don't think there's a way for them to really be able to split push enough to stop this incoming.
And the heroes I feel like haven't really contributed that much is probably Shadow Shaman and Bat Rider. I feel like the support duo was not really the best here. Like, Shadow Shaman's I'm kind of winning, I want to like move around, get kills, split push, take towers, but all he's been is meat really. No-Tail gets
No-Tail immediately blown up. They are going to be able to get the Black Hole and the save from the imprisonment, so it looks like they're going to be able to get the kill on the select to start things off, but maybe Jabz can still fight this one out. They go for Ana, do manage to pick up that kill. No-Tail had the regen going, but Nutz is just going at it. He had the freezing field that whole entire time. They've taken 2 of the cores. They're going to find the 3rd, and the Enigma got him just before the TP. That's 4 down from OG. A tier 2 rapidly falling.
Is this game over?
I think it is, Kevin.
It's going to be buybacks, but I mean, they don't have Black Hole. They don't even have Alchemist ult for 25 seconds. Odie used his ult to guarantee the Slark kill. If Faceless really wanted to, they could hard commit, and they will.
Whoa! Goodbye!
That's so bad for
No-Tail.
OG. His buybacks icon is still there, and he's been dead for 5 seconds. That is not the situation you want, and that's going to be a double Rax, almost for sure.
Wars go out. Jab's like, oh, thank you, Fly. I will take that extra gold. As well as the tier 3 bounty, which you know is still going to be going down soon because you still have 14 seconds till the Enigma's back up. Another 2 for the OD. Swinging away at that melee Rax.
They got Bloodlust, they got Vlad's Aura. Morphling's hitting for almost 300 damage right now, and he can almost one-shot every hero on the enemy team. Even the Alchemist doesn't look survivable. If he had like a Manta or something, he could try to like disjoint some of that initiation, but even JerAx, like, gotta push lanes. That's the only way they can keep them out of their base. They gotta buy 30 seconds to get some heroes back up, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Is Faceless gonna do this? I mean,
I think it's over. I think they're just going to run down. They're going to take this tier 3. Ana on the side. He almost gets bursted down. Morphling not quite able to finish him off. He jumps forward. Actually does manage to get the nuke out just before he can get back to safety too. Fly goes down with the shackles. And what a whopping. Faceless. Oh, they came in damn strong for this game, number 1. Close it out by 28 minutes on the marker.
they played that so well. Like, their laning stage was great across the board. The rotations from Nutz set so much tempo this game.